Hello, my name is Dr. Randy Laced, and this short video describes a research poster that I put together called An Experience of the Impossible, the Planetary Imagination in Georges Méliès' A Trip to the Moon. Georges Méliès' 1902 film, A Trip to the Moon, is both one of the earliest narrative films and also the first science fiction movie, establishing the close relationship that has existed ever since between the movies and representations of outer space on other planets. In fact, one particularly uncanny moment in the film shows an image of Earth from the lunar surface that seems to anticipate by 70 years or so the famous photographs of Earth taken by the Apollo astronauts, particularly the photos known as the Blue Marble and Earthrise. Indeed, the illusion of this impossible anachronism may rank as the most astonishing magic trick in A Trip to the Moon. The Earthrise scene in A Trip to the Moon emblematizes the film as a whole, which derives so much of its dramatic effect and owes so much of its popular legacy to the cinematic representation of the planetary dimension of human existence. Theorists in the emerging field of critical planet studies have examined the philosophical and cultural implications of representations of the Earth from space and how they influence our perception of what has been variously called planetarity, the planetary imagination, or a sense of planet. In spring of 2024, I taught a film class devoted to the cinematic depictions of Earth and other alien worlds. Early on in this class, we read passages from several thought leaders in the field of critical planet studies and applied their theories to A Trip to the Moon. The purpose of this activity was to brainstorm ways of interpreting Méliès' film through this critical lens. In discussion board responses and critical discussions, students identified interpretive approaches to considering the representations of planetarity in A Trip to the Moon. They considered 1. The interplay of familiar and unfamiliar elements, 2. The sense in which the planetary perspective invites us to contemplate the vastness of space, 3. The negotiation of otherness, 4. Satire as a tool for fostering intellectual humility, and 5. The importance of cultivating a planetary perspective along with the epistemological challenge of doing so. Dr. Laced synthesized these ideas in an article and submitted it to Film Criticism, one of the most prestigious academic film studies journals. The article was accepted for peer review by the editors. The thesis of the article is that A Trip to the Moon uses proto-cinematic language to address a very contemporary problem, what it means to consider Earth from a planetary perspective. The film's lunar frame of reference provides a point of contrast, an extraterrestrial perspective from which to observe human behavior both in its profound insignificance and its terrifying power. For Méliès, the moon's mirroring effect, represented in many ways throughout the film, culminates in a sardonic portrait of a human species that is grandly oblivious to its own sadism and buffoonery. Applying this perspective to Méliès' film not only provides new ways of thinking about one of the most impactful films in history, but it also opens up new ways of thinking about our relationship with and understanding of the Earth itself, a kind of inquiry that is increasingly urgent in a time when, as one student puts it, while the moon is an inhospitable planet, the Earth is becoming one because of human activity.